My fiancé, 29F, cheated during her bachelorette party, and I, 32M, feel stuck, unsure of what to do next. I apologize if this comes across as scattered. I just need to put everything down somewhere and hopefully get some guidance. We've been together for 7 years, and we're supposed to get married next month. Until now, there had never been cheating nor any serious fights. This is the first real betrayal between us. About 2 weeks ago, she suggested that we each have a bachelor and bachelorette party. The idea immediately made me uneasy. Personally, I've always felt those parties often create situations that encourage cheating right before a wedding, and I wanted nothing to do with that. I told her how I felt, but she reassured me it wouldn't be the wild last night of freedom kind of thing. She insisted it would just be close friends hanging out, celebrating us. After a long discussion, we set boundaries and agreed to host both parties on the same night. That night ended up being this past Wednesday. When Wednesday came, my friends came over to our place. We had planned a Dungeons and Dragons session, themed around my character's wedding, while my fiancée went out with her group for a bar crawl. Everything was going well until about 3 hours into the game when I received a text from a mutual friend. She said she needed to speak to me in person. Immediately, I was worried. I asked if she could just tell me what was going on over text, but she said she wasn't comfortable with that and would rather talk face-to-face. From that point, I could barely focus on the game. My mind was racing, trying to figure out what could be so serious. By the time she arrived, my friends had already packed up and left, so I sat waiting. When she came in, she asked if we could sit down. That's when she told me my fiancé had used the bachelorette party as an excuse to cheat. The words hit me like a punch to the chest. This was exactly the scenario I had feared when she first brought up the idea of parties, and she had sworn to me that cheating was the last thing she'd ever consider. Until that moment, I had no reason to doubt her. I felt like an idiot for trusting so blindly. I asked my friend if she was absolutely certain. She showed me a video that had been shared in the group chat where they were planning the party. In the clip, my fiancée was kissing a guy at the bar while her friends cheered her on. My stomach dropped. I felt sick. This was a woman I thought I'd spend forever with, wrapped up in someone else's arms like it was a joke. The rest of the story is based on my friend's account of what happened that night, since I wasn't there to see it myself. According to her, the maid of honor spent most of the evening ranting about how I hadn't allowed them to throw a traditional bachelorette party, and that I was controlling and jealous. My fiancée didn't offend me. She just drank, laughed, and carried on. Eventually, a few of the women noticed men showing interest in her, and they began encouraging her to flirt. She resisted at first, but only half-heartedly. Eventually, she gave in and started talking to one of the guys. That was the point when my friend became so uncomfortable that she left. But even after leaving, she was still in the group chat, which is how she saw and later showed me the video. I thanked my friend for being honest and asked her to forward me the video along with anything else that might show up in the group chat after she left. That's when I finally broke down and cried. Once I was able to pull myself together, I texted my fiancée and told her straight out that I knew what happened and that the wedding was canceled. Within minutes, my phone blew up, messages from her friends, even attempts to drag me into the same group chat where the video had been shared. She came home about half an hour later, already in tears, begging me not to call everything off. She swore she was drunk, that she didn't know what she was doing, and that nothing happened beyond the kiss. She kept repeating that she loved me. I stayed silent, which only seemed to make her panic more. She promised it was a one-time mistake, said she'd never do it again, and even claimed she cut ties with every friend who was there. But I told her I wasn't interested in talking it through, that the wedding was still canceled. I added that if what she wanted so badly was a traditional bachelorette party, she could go ahead and have it, because I was leaving. At that, she grew even more frantic and literally tried to block the door to stop me from walking out. I ignored her, packed my bag, and called my sister, asking if I could crash at her place for a while. For the past few days, I've been staying with my sister, making calls to friends and family to let them know the wedding is off. I haven't told anyone besides the real reason. I just feel humiliated. My ex has been calling and texting nonstop since it happened. My sister has been supportive, but I'm completely lost. Despite what she did, I still love her, and I don't know if I should give her a chance to explain, tell everyone the full truth, or if there's any hope for saving this. When I posted about it online, one person, Max, commented, "Tell everyone why you broke things off, because she might twist the story and make you look like the villain. Also, don't continue the relationship. If she's cheating before marriage, imagine what could happen afterward." Another person, Ansel Gown, added, "Not only did she cheat, she did it openly in front of friends, as if she believed it wouldn't reach you. That level of boldness suggests this isn't the first time. If you talk to her, she'll only give you partial truths." Update. I honestly didn't expect to post another update, but so many people asked, and writing this out does help me process. Like I said before, I ended things and called off the wedding. At first, I avoided explaining the reason, but after some advice, I realized I had to be upfront to prevent her from controlling the narrative. So I went back and called people again, this time telling them exactly why. That my fiancé kissed another man at her bachelorette while her friends cheered her on. It was humiliating to admit, but to my surprise, everyone was supportive, especially my parents and sister. I also contacted my ex's parents, since they had contributed to wedding expenses, and told them they should try to recover their deposits. Her mother answered, and to my surprise, she already knew everything. Apparently, my ex had confessed to them. I asked a few questions to check if the details matched what I knew, and they did. They didn't pressure me to reconcile, which I appreciated. As for my ex, we met once to talk things over. She begged for another chance, promised to cut off the friends who encouraged her, and even suggested couples counseling. But I told her I had no interest in becoming her warden, monitoring who she spent time with. I also said that if a marriage had to start with therapy because of something this serious, then it was doomed from the beginning. Most importantly, I told her I couldn't rebuild trust after she did the exact thing I had warned her about beforehand. A marriage without trust can't survive, and I don't want a life where I'm constantly doubting my partner. So here I am, single, hurting, but trying to move forward. 7 years together is a long time, and it's painful to accept it's over, but I know there's no foundation left. At this point, I don't plan to post further updates. For me, this chapter is closed.